Welcome to the final video of my little mini series here, referring to the comment section on the video I made called Testing My Hair Loss Theories on my college roommate from 2002. There's some banter going back and forth between our good friend Robert and our good friend Maxwell Smart, and there's just so much content there. I love it. I love those two guys. Along with Harry Cuball, the three of them have been some of my earliest subscribers, some of my most vocal subscribers, and really have shaped my vision for this channel, my vision on hair loss and hairstyles and all this good stuff. What I want to talk about that has been inspired by that, by those comments on that video, is there's some irony. There is a paradox, and I talk about those things all the time. That's a theme on this channel, all the paradoxes that exist when you are experiencing hair loss and choosing what you're going to do about it. All right, but here's the thing. Back when I had hair, a couple months ago, I had 2 inches on top, probably number 2 guard on the side and the back. And I made a video when I was still employed. So this had to have been over 6 months ago. So I haven't been unemployed for about 6 months now. Okay, so back when I still worked in the office full time, I was walking around the back of that one building, and I said, okay, I want you to vote. Judge me on a scale of 1 to 10. How handsome am I? How good looking am I? And before I ended the video, I said, at best, I'm a 6. I'm an average looking guy. I take pride in being an average looking guy. I don't want to be a good looking guy, because if you're known for being good looking, then that's part of your identity. And it's something you arguably can't really control, whether naturally how handsome you are. You can do some things to help it, but naturally, some people are better looking than others. There's no way around it. And that's what I want to do. I said, you judge me. And everyone pretty much agreed. I'm an average looking guy with hair. But see, I don't feel that way now that I don't have hair. Now that it's the morning after the clean shave, the completely hair is gone look with the beard. See, what I feel is I've looked at all the positive feedback I've received, and here's how I feel. I feel if I were to do the same thing today and say, hey, now how do I look as far on a scale of 1 to 10, as far as me being a good looking guy? My guess is that the honest answer is I'm above average now. See, but this is where it gets interesting, because it's not on the same scale as, let's say, a good looking cool guy like Ryan Gosling. If you don't know who that is, look him up. Ryan Gosling. He's a classically handsome, good looking guy, perfect head of hair. Girls all agree he's a good-looking guy, all right? So, with that being said, I'm not competing with Ryan Gosling in the same way that he looks good. And I've talked about this before since I started buzzing off my hair, that there's this alternative beauty scale when it comes to men, that you can look like Ryan Gosling, and he's a great guy, and he's funny, he's a great actor, Ryan Gosling, yes, I'm all for him. But, in theory, I would argue that on the looks scale, on the scale of 1 to 10, if I was average before, if I was a 5 or 6 before with hair, I think the irony is that I've actually worked my way up the scale with this look. So I don't know what number I would be, but let's say if I was 5 or 6 before, I think I'm closer to a 7 or 8 now, but in a different way. I'm not in the full head of hair sense, but in the sense of this radiates a message. It radiates a message when you get rid of the hair and you have the beard or stubble. And that's what the girl who actually shaved my head told me. She said, you have the right head shape for it. I asked her what that means. Of course, ultimately, I guess in theory, like, and Max said in the comments, it's that you don't have any big obvious scars, that you don't have like big bulgy veins popping out of your head or something like that. And Max said that you are of average weight. And I am of average weight. I can't be any more average weight than I am. I'm 5'9", I'm 165 pounds. I'm not overweight, I'm not underweight, and that helps me pull off the look too, because if I were really thin, if I were underweight, then I would look maybe unhealthy. And if I were overweight, then maybe I'd look like I'm just a fat guy trying to look cool with a bald head. But I don't work out. I'm married and have kids. I don't care about working out. If you're young, go work out. You should. But what's funny is I can look this good without even working out, because it's not, there's like, again, the alternate version of what it means to be attractive as a man. There is the physical part of it, but man, so much more happens when you have all these other message that you send out with that level of confidence. And not having hair sends a message of confidence and rebellion that a man with a full head of hair, even at age 60, can never pull off. And that's something that's happening right now for us in 2018. We're able to see that. And I was talking to Rachel about that, the girl who shaved my head at Boardroom Salon for Men in Nashville and West End. You know, things are changing now for the better for men who are losing hair. And that's what I was telling her. I said, hey, on the radio just this past week, they were saying that 2 out of 3 men before the age of 30 experience hair loss or obvious signs of it. That starts happening. It's so normal. And finally, things are catching up to where this is being well received. You know, I made videos before, you know, older women, like maybe in their 60s or 70s, if they see this, they're still going to think, why would you do that? Why would you get rid of your hair? You look like a thug. It doesn't look professional, whatever. But see, that's getting outdated now. What's happening as far as the generations that are adults now, the millennials and the Generation X, what are they seeing? They're seeing this as, man, that's tough. That's cool. You look cool that way. And see, it's great because you can take an average looking guy who's a 5 or a 6 when he had hair, and you can take away the hair, add a little scruff, and he becomes a better looking guy. And not just because things are cleaner looking and more symmetrical, that has things to do with it as well. But also because he sends a simple message of confidence. And I keep saying, and we all know it, one of the most attractive traits in a man is that he's confident. And men who are not confident watch those videos I've done where I've interviewed single girls, and I said, tell me what makes a man attractive. What are the most attractive traits in a man? And they never talk about his physical appearance. They always talk about him being confident and kind and all this other stuff. And then I have to specifically ask them about hair. And then they're like, well, who cares about that if he's got all this other stuff? But see, men who are not confident can't hear that as truth. They always think, well, the girls are lying. They're not being honest. They don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And that's why they also don't talk about the man being rich. But see, that's the thing. I think fundamentally, girls don't care even so much about a guy being rich or making money as they care about a man who knows what he wants and knows who he is. So as long as he could have some kind of skill that he's really good at. Maybe he knows how to make furniture and he has a website and he does that and he makes average income for an American man. But he's passionate about it. He loves it. He's got a skill set as part of his identity. That's what the girl would care more about than that he made, you know, $100,000 or more in a year. And I'm an adult. I'm married to a woman nearly 10 years now. I have a much better understanding of what women actually find attractive in men. But guys that are young and insecure and don't have their identity and are starting to lose their hair, they have this panic mode of how they see. So they freak out. Oh no, I'm losing my hair. Girls won't like me. And of course, the easiest fix, if you truly are that young and losing your hair, just grow some stubble, grow a beard. And if you don't want it to go completely clean like this, like I did, then just do a zero guard and be done with it. And watch how quickly your life gets better. Oh, but Nick, I don't have the right head shape for it. I don't care. Because Rachel, the girl who shaved my hair yesterday, I said that to her and she said, you know what, ultimately, yeah, you've got the right skin tone for it. You've got a symmetrical head, you know. She says, but it's your confidence. She's like, when you walked in the door, I could tell that you're a confident person. And that's the reason this works. But Nick, I'm not a confident person. I'm 19 and balding. Fake it till you make it. That's something else Rachel and I talked about. The girl who shaved my head at the boardroom. She said too. She says, she had even said, she's like, that's something I've carried with me as an adult too. Fake it till you make it. Steve Martin said in the episode of Comedians in Cars with Coffee with Jerry Seinfeld, age 26, he's starting his stand-up career, and he was this over-the-top crazy guy. And he said, but really that's not who he was. He was more of a reserved, quiet guy. But he had to play that character to draw in the audience and to draw this hysteria so that everybody loved this Steve Martin guy. And it worked. Steve Martin has a complete career based on something he did in his 20s Fake it till you make it. And talk about the epitome of faking it till you make it. Man, if you are losing confidence over hair, this is the best way to do it. Man. So, for fun, if you want to, what do you think in the comment section? Why don't you tell me? You can look back to the videos when I had hair. Do you agree with me that I am physically more attractive and more handsome as a man now that I completely got rid of my hair and have the beard? There's plenty of videos with me having hair. You can go back and watch them. But I definitely am convinced I physically look better. I physically am more handsome. And I ideologically, that's not a word. But conceptually, I'm a better looking guy. Which still goes back to being handsome. Because a man being handsome, it's all these other psychological things too. Whereas unfortunately for females, there's more emphasis on her physical beauty. For men, it's more about the idea and the identity of that man. So do you agree with me? I'm altogether, all around, a more handsome guy because I now chose to not have hair and with the beard stubble. Do you agree that I have went from average to above average as a handsome man? I think that, but that's only my own perception of reality. The truth is found in adding my perception with the perception of over 3,700 subscribers. Please, what do you think? I'm so curious. Did I go from average with hair to above average without hair? Vote. Do it now.